We had a little bit of a blip. But as you know, nothing is easy in the Earl world. I'm sorry for wasting the last 10 minutes of your life. But you know what? We're back. And let's make this the greatest stream of all time. Let's get that Seattle Kraken hat in there. Welcome aboard the Earl world. This stream is the stream about everything and nothing at the same time. There we go. Let's get a little more straight. Let's get the... That was weird, William Zoom. That's never, ever happened to me where the chat was enabled. I did not press anything different. I did not do anything different. And then when I restarted, everything was fine. So I'm not exactly sure what happened. The comments are off now too? Really? I don't know what's going on. Maybe my stream is booby trapped, since I think I'm back in the algorithm. But we'll see what happens. At least the chat is enabled. Oh, I don't know. I've never ever had that happen before. So, that's par for the course in the Earlverse. But whatever it was, I'm glad we got it rectified. We should be about 15 minutes into this stream. But, here we are. We're 3 minutes in. We're rocking and rolling. So I apologize for the delay. And let's just get to it for about a half hour or so. And I appreciate your guys' patience. And surprised you were not busy getting your hot pants ready for the parade. I will be wearing short shorts. You got to show the goodies. So, at the West Hollywood parade, you let it all hang out. And deal with the consequences. But it should be, the parade design is awesome. I don't want to spoil it, but it is amazing. Now, I also have to be careful with the parade, because there's not nudity, but there's definitely some ass cheeks will be out, and I don't want to get my channel struck. So, some of the outfits that will be in vogue are pretty wacky. Interesting. That is interesting. I used to go, when I was really a beginning comic, I had cards and they were really nice. But, I think that place is out of business. Every actor and comic I know went to this one particular place. In the seedy part of Sunset, thank you very much. Well, that's the thing. There are some basically bare-ass people walking around. You don't see their weenies, but I'm going to have to be real fast on the draw if that happens, because don't they take your channel away forever if you show nudity, any kind of nudity? I've worked too hard to rebuild my channel, so we'll have to figure it out. I don't think there'll be much nudity on the actual parade route. What's up? What's up? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. I've been pretty good on my channel, so I don't think I'm on YouTube's security radar. But how are you? Well, the Chandler doll is stuck in position right now, but I think that she probably, if I were to guess how she enjoyed her Memorial Day, I would guess she had used hot dogs on soggy buns. Um, okay, I mean, I just try to avoid the U2 radar. Um, I had a comic out here from New York actually this weekend tell me some pertinent information. And let's just say the grass ain't greener. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah, I don't want to. Actually, SCV, Anisha, you've been good to me. I can. Oh, it's not that bad. We'll put the. Boy, I tell you, SCVID show, the food's definitely not as good as it was a couple years ago. Hee 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 hee. We'll leave the hat. Shout out to my buddy Jared Rader in Winnipeg for. I thought this was a hat in the Winnipeg Jets office, like their team store. He had this hat specifically made for me, for my good buddy number 9, Alex Iafallo, who will be a king forever in my mind. So, yes, what time is it now? It's 8:55. I'm having people texting me from the Comedy Store. Went from eating to dancing. 100%, 100%. It's just, it's a real shame what happened. But the best part is everyone tells her how great of a guy I am. Just the way it works. Just the way it works. And I don't tell anyone to say anything. But when you're a good guy, you don't have to. You just let the universe handle its business. Did you know that Kennedy, who skied into the tree in Colorado, well, that's a little personal, Queen on. I mean, a lot. Brian Holtzman is absolutely a comics comic because he just says things that very few comics are willing to say. I mean, he is really pretty amazing to watch because he delves into some real dark material, and it's like he's got some jokes that let's just say women might not like, but so it's funny to watch a date and where the guy wants to laugh but he doesn't want to piss off the date, and then sometimes female audiences are into him. So that's what's really funny. And then I think probably my favorite Holtzman set I ever saw was one time Adam put him on in the middle of the main room. No, I'm sorry. He does Moses. Middle of the original room lineup on like a Friday night. So he went on at like 10:30. Usually he does the spot I have. I basically took his spot because he moved. He's going on at 12, 12:15, 12:30, 1 a.m. But Adam put him on where he went on in the like after Bobby Lee or something. I forget who he followed, but and it's going pretty well. I mean, he's a little at the prime, the middle part of the lineup, it's the crowd definitely is taken aback at first, and then he got into it with some girl, and it was like, "Fuck you, you flat-chested bitch." And like the crowd was like used to seeing like Bobby Lee and Sebastian and Eliza, pretty safe humor. And then Holtzman just hit the room like a hurricane. So that was probably my favorite Holtzman set I've ever watched. But yeah, I mean, he's killing it in Austin. I mean, Austin is definitely, I think, better for Holtzman than the LA crowds. I mean, even, when I was there, the one show I was on about a year ago, they wanted me to say the N word. Because I tell the story about the first time I heard the word, and the crowd in unison was like, "Say it, say it." And, the phones are locked, so I probably could have said it. But, Joe was upstairs watching, so I was like, "Ah, fuck that." You know. Um, yeah, I mean, he's a great comic. He's got a joke. I won't spoil the joke, but it's basically about how all the weather girls on TV are whores. Oh, definitely Holtzman. Um, yeah, because with Holtzman, you don't really know if he's doing a bit, if it's a character, or if it's him. Um, but his weather girl bit is so funny, and I don't like doing other comics material. I can't do it justice, but we've all looked at the. I don't know what the weather girls are like in the various cities you guys are in, but in LA, they're all blonde, big tits. I mean, they look like fucking strippers. And he's got about like a 3 to 4 minute bit on how they are all whores, and he's definitely worth seeing live. And he does do the road. In fact, on his Instagram, he has someone interview the people who are walking out. I mean, he does walk out a fair amount of people because he talks. Are you interested in the new King of the Hill reboot? I'd be interested if I was on it. But not really. I don't really watch cartoons, which is ironic, but um, yeah, I don't. We don't talk about Ray DeVito in here. Mud Sharks Unite. You're in the wrong stream for that. We don't do that in here. Um, yeah, I mean Holtzman is. You got to see him. Like I'm underselling how different he is. I mean, he's kind of part Kinnison, part Andy Kaufman, part. Uh, well, let's get the. I mean, I don't watch King of the Hill, so but let's get the campaign. Start making a play for Earl to be on King of the Hill. Um, never say never. You get a campaign going, and we'll see what happens. I mean, stranger things have happened. Yes, Mike Judge does need to show me the money, honey. But so far, he has not. Uh, yeah, I don't watch Legion of Skanks. I don't watch anyone's podcast, but I mean, I would love to audition for Mike Judge. And my friend works or writes on the new Beavis and Butthead, but no one helps me. I don't mean to be a crybaby, but like, you know, and this person who works on Beavis and Butthead, I would be no threat to their job, like zero threat. But that's the way the cookie crumbles in the world of LA comedy. So Tig Notaro got on the new movie. Oh, okay, I don't really follow Tig, but I think I did a show with her once at the lesbian bar, the Palm. What up, Spurg Snake? We're just chilling in here. We're gonna do about a half-hour stream. Yes, hit the like and subscribe button. I mean, that's how the YouTube stream world really thrives on like and subscriptions. But I have noticed lately an uptick in subscriptions, so I think I don't know if I would say I'm back in the algorithm, but you know, I think slowly working my way back into it. See, I don't watch King of the Hill, so I don't really get the characters. Um, so when you guys say I would be a great this or that, I'm not really sure what you're talking about. But obviously, I would love, that would help me tour a little bit more if I was like a recurring character on King of the Hill. And, just little things like that help a lot. 300 bucks. Get the fuck out of there. What's your? But definitely Beavis and Butthead. I mean that's really the only one I've watched, and I've met Mike Judge at the Comedy Store. Very humble and quiet. Like, did you ever learn anything from other comics? Like take notes. Well, I mean Holtzman is so fucking out there that I don't. I actually, I will say I've seen Holtzman lose a room and get them back. So I've never really saw Office Space. Um, I don't. My TV viewing is strange. Like I'll watch every episode of Miami Vice 10 times each, but I won't watch Office Space. But Holtzman, I will say I have learned what to do when you lose a room, and from time to time I lose a room. You do one joke. I do the Michael Jackson joke. Hey, we all remember Michael Jackson, right? It's one thing to be a pedophile, but two, usually that joke kills. But every now and then, it doesn't, and so I have to have like a plan B real fast. And I've seen Holtzman win back 99.9% of the rooms he's lost. Same thing with Don Barris. Don from time to time, because Don goes on like super late, as late as I do, maybe even later, and so the crowd's tired, and so he'll do a joke maybe that won't go over that well, and he'll always get them back, always. So outside of those two, I don't really watch a lot of comics. I don't even watch the comic who's bringing me up. Now, obviously, when I walk through the main room to get to the green room, I'll hear like a minute or so of who's ever on stage. Like this Saturday was Willie Simon, who's a very funny comic. Well, I don't know of anyone who loses the room on purpose. I mean, at the end of the day, you want laughs. I mean, anyone who says they lost the room on purpose is lying. They're just trying to cover up for them bombing. But I think like every now and then I'll like the Son of Godzilla joke. It's never worked, not once, but I still love the joke so much I'll do it anyway. And the crowd will usually laugh a little bit because of my enthusiasm for doing the joke. So, there's a way to lose the room with dignity. I mean, I don't think, listen, everyone minds bombing, from David Tell to me to Brian Holtzman to Rogan to Hinchcliffe to someone who's doing their first open mic tonight. Well, I mean, I can't speak for Mark Norman's experiences. I mean, I do new material at the store probably about 20, 30 minutes in when I've established a trust with the audience, but I certainly mind if it doesn't do well. Especially for me, because I'm going on so fucking late that, you lose the room. They just don't stay there. They get up and leave, because they've been there for, at that, Saturday night, I went on at 1:15 in the morning. So I had to do the greatest hits right out of the gate. And probably about Well, Dave Chappelle's the different. He's probably was so high he didn't care. But I guarantee you, even he cared. Um, no, you never tell the audience, "Hey, I'm doing new material." That's what when I was dating Gail, Lois's mom, and this is many, many years ago. She would do that sometimes, and I would tell her, never, never, ever tell the audience, "Hey, this is a new joke." Because basically, what you're saying is this might not be funny. So you're already cutting down your odds of success. I've never told an audience, um, "Hey, this is a new joke." Now, if I do a new joke and it bombs, I might playfully be like, "Well, that was the first time I ever told that joke on stage, and probably the last," and they'll get a laugh. Have you ever told the audience when to laugh? No, if you have to do that, you shouldn't be doing comedy. And at like Rose was watching me Saturday night, and Rose is smart enough where she knows the fucking deal. Like she knows, the show was an hour behind, and yeah, 100%. It's like a baseball pitcher going, "Hey, I've never thrown this screwball before. It might not go over the plate." Um, yeah, I love Harlan Williams, not just for what he did to David Lucas, but he's just a good person. Well, I don't know. I don't know what happened Saturday night. I mean, I got there pretty early because I was meeting a comic friend from New York there, but it was fucking brutal. I mean, 1:15 in the morning. Dumb and Dumber, great movie. Wait, no, Kip, I missed what you said about the Dabbleverse. I'm sorry. It's the only thing I don't like about the horizontal stream is that the chat disappears. That's all right. I mean, we could talk about the Dabbleverse. Did you talk to Theo this weekend? No, I never saw that, William. No, we don't really talk anymore. I mean, we're cool, but like, I'm not cool enough for Theo to talk to. Like, we used to talk a lot, but it's all good, Kip. I mean, listen, you guys, listen. This is your stream as much as it is mine. But yeah, I don't really like if I got on a big movie or TV gig or I don't know if I got on Rogan or some big podcast. Theo's like a successful Dean Del Rey. Like he would call me, "Hey, why don't you do my podcast? Why didn't you ask me that last week? What up, ACDC? Are you talking about Art Bell or Dan Bell? I've never heard of Dan Bell. Do you care at all about the new Karate Kid movie? I mean, I'm a little burnt out on that. I mean, I'm struggling to finish the Karate Kid thing on Netflix. I mean, I remember when Cobra Kai first came out. I mean, 115 is probably the latest I've ever gone on at the Comedy Store. But I'm just burnt out on, I mean, there's only so many ways to spend the fucking story, of Daniel and Johnny Lawrence not getting along. Okay, I don't know who Dan Bell is. Of course, I know who Art Bell is. A legend. I just love the fact that he lived in Pahrump, Nevada. Um, well, I mean, but Willie gave me a great intro, so that helped. It's all in the intro. Well, I'm sure Steve Martin got bored, but listen. I mean, I don't imagine many comics, I won't say any, but many comics not enjoying that. But I mean, he was so big. Yeah, I just loved Art Bell. Did you make any jokes about it going long? Oh, this is the first thing I said. I mean, I got on stage, and I always give a shout out to the comic before me, make them feel good. And then I'm like, I don't think this show's gone on long enough. I mean, I was fucking bald when it started. I mean, you got to do anything you can to get a couple laughs up front. If you go right into material, they've already been in the room. At 1:15, they've probably been in the room since 10 o'clock. Because the show starts at 10:30, but they have to be seated at around 10. Definitely Osprey and Hangman, and I'm not like a huge Hangman guy, but I am now. That was a great match. Really, um, it made me. I just assumed Osprey was going to go into All in Texas and beat Moxley. So now I can't imagine Hangman Page beating Moxley, but he is from Texas, so maybe he will. No, that's the crazy thing is there really weren't pop-ins, and that's even worse. When there's pop-ins, because Rose is cutting down on that. I mean, I do like that. Like there's not a lot of light running the first couple weeks of Rose's tenure. Um, but so when there's no pop-ins and the show goes long, it's probably the first show went long. And they had it's like ever since COVID, it's mandatory that you need 20 minutes or a half hour to clean the room completely, and then you have to set it up after you clean it. So that 10:30 audience has probably been waiting outside. Did you watch AEW last night? Sorry, someone already asked you. Yes, I did watch AEW, of course. I paid the $49 on DirecTV. So it's even worse than if the first show was running on time and the second show seated. They're still going to be tired by 1:15, but like they've been comfortable. But when the first show runs behind or runs long, the second show crowd is waiting outside, and it's cold usually by that time of night. And so by the time I get on at 1:15, if that was the case, which I believe it was, I think the first show ran long. People don't show up, like, a big name comic doesn't show up. They're going to hold the show until that big name comic gets there. Which room is better at the Comedy Store? Well, they have to pay me either way. If I showed up, I'm getting paid. So it's like, hey, you're going to earn your money. We're just not going to cut you a check for $400 and not do nothing. I mean, all rooms have their nuance. I mean, the original room, when it's packed, is pretty cool because it's intimate. The main room's awesome when it's full and you're doing well. But when you lose the room, it's pretty hard to get back. I don't know, probably about the same, Steve. And the belly room, in the glory days of Roast Battle, it was fucking awesome because, the ceiling's low, the walls are close together. So the energy when it's a hot, hot room, which most nights it was for Roast Battle in the early days, the energy has nowhere to go. Um, so, all rooms have their nuance. But, when, the belly room's empty, it can be a dreadful room to do just because there's no energy. So you literally, instead of the energy bouncing off the walls, the silence and the deadness, it just sits there. But I don't play the belly room too much. I can't remember the last time I did a set in the belly room. Been at least a year or so. So hey, we'll do a few more minutes, guys. We'll go to 40 minutes. So we got 12 more minutes, and then I shall take Lois for a very long dog walk because she's been a good girl today. So thank you guys for tuning in. I put out a new short today. Every now and then when I don't have an edited stand-up set from the Comedy Store, I'm just going to do a joke of the day from my computer desk. And, just give you a glimpse into what I'm working on. Jackie Chan, Ben Wang, and Ralph Macchio. I don't know who Ben Wang is, but without even seeing Karate Kid Legends, a trailer for it, Earl still doesn't deal with psychos. Fuck yeah, I just blow him away. The kid gets bullied, and in comes Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio. I literally just summed up the movie that I have no idea what it's about in under 5 seconds. That's not good. But, I've got to still finish Cobra Kai. I've really struggled to finish it because it's just like, it's a little long in the tooth at this point, the story. Yeah, I mean, Jackie Chan is kind of like Guns N' Roses. You know, he had a really good beginning of his career in American movies, and then it's been like 20 years. I mean, if you think about it, Guns N' Roses has really lived off Appetite for Destruction and Use Your Illusion. Yeah, I will be seeing DeMartini and Piercy in Anaheim. So, if you think about it, you know, Jackie Chan is like Guns N' Roses. I mean, Guns N' Roses are living off their first three albums. That what Appetite for Destruction came out in '88. I think Use Your Illusions 1 and 2 came out, what, 91, 92? So since 92, they've lived off those three albums. And Jackie Chan, same thing. But, you know, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I love The Karate Kid. I mean, of course, the first one is just pure awesomeness. Second one was pretty good. Third one is a little long in the tooth, I thought. Oh, thank you. I mean, yeah, I stopped doing that for some reason, Moses. You know, although I did put out one the other day when a comic put out a GoFundMe asking for money, and he's completely healthy. And it's like, bro, why don't you get a fucking job? You know, you could definitely, because he's a big comic, so he could get a job as security, making $100, $200 a night, and he's just too lazy to get a job. It's like, fuck that. But, you know, what do I know? Cobra Kai overstayed its welcome, but I enjoyed it all. Yeah, I mean, I did like the originalness of the, how would you say it, the nostalgia element of it. You know, I mean, like, it was great to see Thomas Ian Griffith back. You know, it's kind of like the first maybe two Expendables where it was kind of cool to see Dolph Lundgren and Van Damme and Schwarzenegger and Stallone in the same movie. But then, like, third and the fourth one is like, okay, I don't really know. Yeah, get a god. That's the only scene I can't watch in American Psycho because he kills the dog at the end. What happened, Al? Insider trading? You know what your problem, Al, is? You reek of shit. And that guy who played the homeless guy in American Psycho, he was one of my favorite characters in The Wire. I think he played the assistant to the shady mayor. Hello, Gina Bobina. We're going to be on the air for about another 8 minutes. Welcome, Gina, to the horizontal version. I saw American Psycho with my friend Eric. We had struck out looking for women in Westwood, and we were just bored, and we went to the Man Bruin Theater, which is a pretty iconic theater in Westwood. And we had no idea what American Psycho was about, so we just went in, and I've never laughed so hard in a movie theater in my life. And it was pretty full, and you know, American Psycho is clearly not a comedy, but it kind of is. Kind of like a dark comedy, like when he's calling, or when his friend is eggshell Romalian type. I wanted to do a sketch where guys, instead of business cards, show their dick pic. What kind of dick pic do you have? iPhone, braised Nimbus. There's so many funny lines in that movie. The gay guy was pretty funny in it. Matt Ross. Don't tell me. Valentino Couture, fall 2014. Don't touch me, Lewis. Your compliment was sufficient. I'd really like reservations. I mean, I'm not even hungry, but I'd still like reservations. We can't get reservations at Dorset because Bateman won't give the maitre d' head. That was the group of friends I hung out with. Like, if you guys want to look into my life before stand-up comedy, that was my life. Going to clubs, just looking for women. Do you mind? I'm trying to do drugs in here. Sorry, not enough shiatsu. I mean, that's why I think that movie is so funny to me. All right, guys, we'll go another 5 minutes. A 5-minute warning. There's a cartoon called Dog Man by DreamWorks. I should have auditioned for that. I tried to watch American Psycho 2, but that was pretty bad. Harvey, I need your services. Translate that however you'd like. It's 3 a.m. He's a goddamn drug dealer. These are his peak hours. And that movie is like Casino and Goodfellas to me. It was on a couple hours ago. I watched it, um, and I still don't understand the ending. Like I still don't know if he was dreaming it or if he actually did all those things. And I hear the book is like twice as violent, which is crazy to me. But and it would have been interesting to see Leonardo DiCaprio. And it was his role for the taking, but for whatever reason they couldn't do it. Oh, not at all. I mean, I do have big traps. I mean, for a guy who's never done steroids or anything, I'm a pretty big boy. Um, yeah, I mean, American Psycho was just, it was a parody, I guess, of the 90s. And I still use lines from that. Like whenever someone's trying to get me to say, I'm like, I gotta go. I've got to return some videotapes. Or if a girl's trying to like, I don't know, make plans with me, I'm like, I can't. I've got lunch at Uber's with T. Boone Pickens. And they're like, what? So, I thought it would be a funny sketch or whatever you want to call it if I did a scene like I'm about to have sex with a girl, but instead of breaking down a Huey Lewis album, I'm breaking down a Rat album. Detonator. Personally, I think that's when Rat lost their touch, when they brought in preeminent songwriter Desmond Child to make them sound like Bon Jovi, but the songs lacked a certain punch. Susie, don't stare at it, eat it. But I'm a little too lazy in that. Yes, that was a great. I mean, such a great soundtrack, and really just. I mean, Christian Bale was perfect. I'd also like to know who else was uh, in line for since they were having problems with DiCaprio committing. I'm trying to think who else would have been good in that. But I also like his group of friends. Like they were perfectly cast. Justin Theroux, Bill Sage. Um, probably my favorite line is when they're all trying to. They're in the cigar lounge, and he's like, "Do you know what Ed Gein said about women? Who's that? Mater D at Canal Bar." I mean, their whole world was based around reservations, getting into the nightclubs, and that's exactly how me and my friends were, minus the murder part. All right, guys, we got 2 more minutes. Um, well, Northwest Ken, that's a little personal, isn't it? I do have a cousin named George Skakel, so I'm going to assume that yes, that is my cousin, but there might be more than one George Skakel, to be frank. So, but he is very politically connected, so I would assume that that is my cousin. If you ever run into a Skakel, say, "Hey, I know your cousin Earl," and see what happens. Most would be happy to hear that, and probably some wouldn't. But my cousins pretty much all like me. String this out for an hour. The numbers are going up. Oh, really? Not really, William. I only have 15 people in here, but I guess we could string it out for an hour. Fuck it. This is why I don't understand how Melton and those guys do 6, 7 hour streams. I mean, where are the Skakels friendly with the Kennedys? Not so much, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not really a rivalry. I mean, to be honest with you, okay. I mean, William, I don't like to question you. The Skakels, they always had more money than the Kennedys, although the Kennedys are more famous, certainly. But so I think the Kennedys probably think the Skakels are nothing but white trash hillbillies, um, and I just gave fist bumps to Skakels in 2018 during the Legion of Skanks weekend in March. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. Um, Go back to the vertical or IMAX. Seems this way doesn't help the algorithm. I don't know. I mean, if the Skakels had branched out into smuggling and bootlegging, you would have had even more money. Yes, I did get a text. It's from a woman. Um, I mean, the numbers seem to be about the same right now. Am I blocked? Obviously, you're not blocked if I'm seeing that, Elway Broughton. Um, so, no, I don't block anyone. Yes, that means I met you in 2018, Earl. Northwest Ken. Did I meet you at Skankfest in 2018? I think I did Skankfest. Oh, I guess I did do Skankfest in 2018. I don't think I was texting your mom. She was texting me. Hello, hello, hello. Let me answer that text. It's from a female comic trying to set me up with another female comic. So, I've got to take care of business. No, at the Comedy Store. Oh, okay. I did do a Skankfest, I think 2017 maybe. So, let me hold on here. I've got to answer this text. So, talk amongst yourselves. Well, you're right, William. The numbers are pumping up a little bit. So, let's talk. Maybe I should read the letter. Get the numbers really pumping up. Um, I think the reason Vertical helped was because more people on their phones watch Vertical. Oh, I guess that could be. Hold on, I'm going to turn the lights on. Hold on, man. Well, the jury is still out. I think. In terms of vertical, horizontal. I mean, I love this much more than vertical, but I could understand. The letter will be glorious. I mean, I'm starting to think though. But I kind of like this presentation on the. I'm still. I mean, listen, I seem to peak. At about 20 to 30 people, no matter if it's vertical or horizontal. But I'm still fucking around on this. The stream. I mean, I do seem to have the subscriptions are slowly getting up again. So that's all I care about. Well, hold on. Hammer, Universal, A24, or Bloomhouse. Whoever wants to employ me. How did you get the Vince Neil frame? Yes, the iMac buffer is too much. Well, I like horizontal because you can finally see the Earl sign. And I've been, researching outside of asking William Zoom everything. And they say the more interesting your background is, the better. And, this is, I think, more interesting. 'Cause, get to see the Earl thing. There was a store in Westwood that sold like concert posters and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, me and you want a good look into what me and Chandler were like. It's definitely, it's definitely uh, Patrick Bateman and Evelyn. That's literally how we were every time we went out. How are we going to decide our friends? You can have them. That's something I would say. So, um, I do, but listen, I do appreciate all of the friendly advice, and I know you guys want me to succeed, or else, fuck, you wouldn't even be here. So, it's. Do you have business cards? I used to, but it's a real loser move if you're a comic of 25 years and have business cards. So, you know, um, but everyone's. I mean, the business cards are for comics who are probably 5 years and under. Um, I used to have bus benches. Yeeks. I can't believe someone hasn't found those. They were bus benches all up and down Santa Monica Boulevard. And I was ripped back then. I mean, I've got a good body now, but I had a great body. I mean, Panthers looked a little off tonight, but it's two empty net goals, so it was basically a 1-0 game. Can you do an impression of Jeff's manager? Hey, Earl, how's it going? Like, she just did that to be a cunt. Like, she knows I don't like her. Like, what she did to me on season 2, if she was a dude, I would have fucking swung on her. Because here's what happened season 2, and if I've probably told this story before, Jeff Ross stories, they're a blur to me, but I'll tell it again for the one or new people coming into my stream. So season 2, I'm sitting at home watching a Kings game in my underwear. It's a Sunday evening. A Comedy Central executive calls me. I recognize the number right away. And it's kind of awkward start of the phone call. Hey, how you doing, Earl? I'm like, and I knew they were taping. I'm like, okay, I guess. And I thought, hey, be cool. Maybe they're going to ask you to battle. Maybe someone dropped out or whatever. And he's like, well, Dr. Ken really wants to meet you. And I instantly knew I was being set up. I was like, well, I'm pretty sure, I'm saying this to myself, I'm pretty sure if Dr. Ken wanted to meet me, he'd just pick up the phone and call me. It's like he's got that kind of juice. We'd love for you to come down. We'll sit you with the judges. My spidey senses were saying, don't go. But I thought, Dr. Ken's someone who could help me. At least so I thought. All right, so I go down there, and I'm kind of walking around. I have an all-access pass. And everyone's like, Earl, what are you doing here? So I was kind of embarrassed to be there in the first place. And then I see Dr. Ken. Now, I'd never met Dr. Ken before. And he gives me a big hug. He's like, oh, my God, you're my favorite battler. Who are you roasting tonight? I'm like, I'm just here because they said that you wanted to meet me. And you could tell he kind of froze, and he was trying to cover for whoever, at the time, he didn't know who told me that. Oh, yeah, man. Come on, sit down with me. And so I'm sitting basically 10 feet behind Dr. Ken on the TV side. And all of a sudden the first battle starts, and it's Bolivia against some grotesque slob who I had beaten. I had beaten Bolivia too. So it was made me angry that why am I watching a battle of two people I've already beaten? And so I'm sitting there, and the slob, and this was really the start of me and Bolivia's problems. He has a joke about, well, Bolivia's last boyfriend cheated on her. And the whole room looked at me. I mean, literally, the whole left side of the room went like this. So I was kind of embarrassed. Bolivia looks at me like, you piece of shit. Like, I was clearly brought in to fuck with her. Hey, let's sit your ex right. Because what you would do in roast battles is you had to submit your jokes. So they had to make sure there was no fucking dirty words or whatever. I didn't submit my jokes once when I was on the show. Like, I'm going to do my thing. You guys want to bleep it out? Bleep it out. And so I go to get the mic from Dr. Ken, and Jeff's like, sit down. It's like, okay. So I was like embarrassed a little bit. Battle ends, and Jeff's manager comes and goes like this to me. And she literally says to me, you can leave now. So I was clearly brought in to be a joke prop. So, you guys wonder why I have a little anger and animosity towards Jeff and his manager. It's because of shit like that. And I remember sitting there walking home, and it was kind of raining, and I'm not going to lie and say I was crying, but I was like really depressed about it, going, I go 4-1 on TV. I'm one of the main reasons this fucking shit show got to television, and this is how I'm treated. And so that's why I'm a little like aggressive in my views towards her as well. So like when she saw me walking Lois, what was that, a year or two ago? I don't even remember. You lose all track of time when you think of these shitheads. That's why I'm a little fucking. Well, it doesn't have to be a cruel business, but you are right, Queen On. I mean, we can all eat at the table. We can all get the money, the pussy, the dick, whatever you're into. But that's also why Jeff and her don't have any success on long-term projects. The Burn was just a cheap knockoff on Jeselnik's show. Roast Battle limped to 3 seasons in America, and nobody even talks about the 2 seasons in the UK. I gave them the best idea for the show in the UK. I said, have the first episode be a rematch with me and Jimmy Carr. And Jimmy's doing his thing, and I walk out on stage in an American flag, and we have a battle. That would have blown the fucking roof. Nobody talks about that show in the UK. And then, Historical Roast was a show they ruined, very similar to what they did to Roast Battle. I mean, when you look at like Yo Mama went like, what, 13, 14 seasons, never used a celebrity once. The great George Perez won Yo Mama. You look at Wild and Out, where'd that go, like 25 seasons? Roast Battle should still be going. It should be a yearly tournament. So, that's why, I'm a little fired up. And thank you, William. I'm glad we went to an hour because now I'm getting my feelings out. This stream is almost as more for me than you guys. It's my stream. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about, but also give you guys the insight into the ravings of a madman, a comic losing his mind. Yeah, I mean, Wild and Out, I think, went 23, 24 seasons. But that's what Roast Battle could have been. And the great thing about, because Jeff and his manager, they were like, oh, we need celebrities. No one's going to, I know for a fact, Jeff said this before season 1, no one's going to want to watch Earl and his friends do inside jokes about each other. You need to know who the people are. And that's the great thing about Roast Battle is you don't need to know who the people are. If the jokes are solid, the jokes are solid. I like the Piercy DiMartini reunion. So, yeah, I mean, I already beat Jeremy Piven. He was no match. But that also shows you, we'll get to that story in a second. Piercy and DiMartini, we're never going to see Rat reunite. They just, now it's Piercy and DiMartini don't get along with Blotzer and Crucier. You might be able to bring Juan back in the fold. But, Blotzer is a key part of the sound of Rat. But, I like Blas Elias on drums, So DiMartini is the sound of Rat. Piercy's the voice. So I'm good with just those two. Yeah, 100%. And, people don't, they sit there and go, you just don't like Jeff. 100% I don't. I absolutely don't. But, I think my reasons are pretty valid, to be frank. So, yeah, Slaughter was a great band. And thoughts on Mick Mars. Great guitar player, perfect for Motley Crue. But, here's a funny thing about Jeff, and I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but one night I'm in the original room. I'm waiting to go on. Moses texts me and goes, hey, get up here. The battles are bad. Roast Piven. And he made it seem like Piven was going to be in on the joke. So I go up there. I do my pro wrestling entrance. I think you can find the video on YouTube. I think I said the night I made Jeremy Piven my bitch is the the title of the video. And I go up there, and it's quite clear Piven had no idea what was going on. I'm roasting him, and he's not really firing back. Because I thought he was going to come on stage, we do a quick roast battle, and I don't think Jeff cares what he did, to be honest with you. To be frank. So, I start steamrolling Piven. I mean, I'm just killing him, and finally Piven, I think, is getting a little bit embarrassed and says to me, I don't know who the fuck you are, bro, but I'll beat your ass in the parking lot. I said, well, why wait? Let's do it right now. So I start walking towards Piven. And he gets up. He wasn't going to do anything. Reitman gets in between us. Jeff gets in between us. And I said, I'll meet you down in the parking lot right now, bitch. This is all on tape. The crowd's going nuts, by the way. It's probably the best thing that's happened to Roast Battle in 1,000 years. So I wait in the parking lot for Piven because I was fully prepared to kick his ass. And I'm with Chandler. Chandler's friend, Allie, is taping, and she's like an editor for Sandler, so the video looks perfect. And Allie was such a pro that she's filming me as I'm backing out in the car, and fans are high-fiving me, and Chandler's egging them on. I mean, it was the height of me and Chandler getting along. So, yes, he was bald in heat. So then Jeff calls me up about 2 a.m. that night. And he's like, what was that all about? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you bullied Piven. You didn't even let him get in a word. I'm like, bro, you guys told me to go up there and bully him. Clearly, you guys didn't warn him. And the thing about Jeff is, how I know how he operates is that he loved it when it was going on, because then he could say to Piven, hey man, I don't know who that guy was. He's from season 1. I don't know. I didn't invite him up here, when he did. So, that's the last time I was ever at a roast battle. That's like 2019. So, JPL, I'm not sure what that means, brother. Are you new to the stream? Hit the like and subscribe button. And thank you to William Zoom. The caffeine kicked in. I'm glad we did an hour today. Oh, play the clip. This isn't MLC. This isn't Doom or Misery Loves Clips. You got to go and find the clip yourself. I think it's entitled "The Night I Made Jeremy Piven My Bitch." You got to do a little legwork, baby doll. Baby cakes. How about share the stream so more people see this shit? I'm just kidding. I'm coming in hot. My bad. I've seen it several times, Daddy Man. It's just 5 hour. Hold on. I have to touch the screen and then the chat appears. And I was too late. I'd like to see a fight card, me versus Liam from Dabbleverse and Earl versus Piven. I don't think Piven would last very long. Jeff would never fight me. I mean, Jeff didn't even want to roast battle me. And then finally, I think he sensed I wasn't giving up on the idea of killing him in a roast battle, because I know his weak spots. Trust me on that one. And I've actually, to you guys saying I bully Jeff or whatever, Jeff said I bully him to many people. I've held back with what I know. I mean, believe me on that one. Thank you, Kip Smith. I've been actually pretty cordial in terms of how I deal with people. Oh, I don't know what he trained in. I mean, you can train in jujitsu all you want, but it's one thing. That's great, but when you get hit in the face the first time, because I'm stronger than he is. Now, listen, Royce Gracie was beating up guys like Bob Sapp, so it's not just physical strength is the indicator of a fight. And Jeff, I think, won a black belt in karate or something. I'd kill Jeff. Did Piven turn to stand up for the money? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Piven's probably like Michael Richards. Like, he's worked in films since what, Lucas in 1986. So I would think that he has enough money to last a very long time. So, but Jeff didn't even want to roast battle me. He told our mutual friend, "Well, we'd have to talk about the jokes." No, I don't think so. But what are you gonna do? Thank you guys for making this Earlverse. He might not. A lot of that money might have gone up his nose. Well, but I mean, you still get money. I mean, he's been in enough big films. I mean, I would imagine he probably makes a couple $100 a month, maybe $1,000 a month just on Heat alone. Even though he had a small role in it, I mean, that's a pretty big movie. I mean, I make a couple $100 a month on the Jellies, and it's not like the Jellies was like some gigantic hit. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't care what training Jeff had. I would kill him in a fight. There's so much anger and bitterness and just pure hatred towards him. Um, yeah, it would. And a lot of people you got to let it go. You got to let it go. Fuck that. And a lot of people would say some of the things that have happened to Jeff, isn't that karma? It's not. That karma means nothing to me because I had nothing to do with it. Now, when I got someone fired off of a TV show, I felt good about that. And most of my hatred disappeared toward that person because I got them. And the best thing is that person um, never had any idea that I was involved. I mean, I'm not going to get into what happened between me and Jeff. If you know, you know. I mean, you must be new to the stream, and if you are, I say welcome. I appreciate you tuning in, but no, I did not. I think AIDS got Charlie Sheen fire. Yeah, but it's good for your chi. But that's easy to say, Nick, when you didn't get fucked over like I did. You know, like I understand what you're saying. Let it go. Let karma take its place. No, I don't believe that at all. Because it was just unnecessary how I was treated. Very unnecessary. Um, well, yeah, Charlie Sheen, I would say, got himself fired. Yes, real good friends with Corey Haim, from what I understand, if you know what I'm saying. So, because to me, how I look at karma and situations like getting fucked over is, if you just let it go and you hope karma catches them someday, that's sending off a giant bat signal to be like, hey, you can fuck me over. I'm not going to do anything about it. It's like when you get cheated on, all your friends console you. Like, there's more fish in the sea. That girl doesn't deserve you. The grass isn't greener on the other side of you, or all. They mean well. But because they haven't been affected by being cheated on or whatever, they don't really get it until they get cheated on. And it's like, fuck that bitch. I'm like, oh, well, I thought you said there's more fish in the sea. So, that's just how I look at it. You look like Mr. Clean with a thyroid problem. Yes. Oh, I was hoping. And Jeff kind of petered out. He hit me with that line. You look like you're wearing the inside of a jacket. He's literally said that line to 5 different people. Bolivia has some nerve getting mad. I mean, she banged 3/4 of the comics. 100%. I mean, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with, fucking a lot of comics. But, like, I think, I don't know what happened between me and her, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know what happened with me and Chandler, to be honest with you, but like, um, with Bolivia, I've never treated a girl so good. But, it's just one of those things that, I mean, Bolivia's been kicked out of several cities, because she goes in, she fucks a few comics, and then she's the girl who's fucking comics, and she's not. No one wants her around. And you guys have even told me in this stream that the Stanhope crew is kind of like distancing themselves from her. Well, and I'm sure if you spoke with Chandler, she'd say, "Well, Earl's not telling the whole story." I swear to you, I'm telling you the whole story in that regard. And with Bolivia, like I knew something was up. Oh, 100%. I have gotten offers to play in Vegas, but I don't want to stay in Vegas for a week. Most of the comedy clubs, you play Vegas from Tuesday to Sunday, or even some cases Monday to Sunday. I don't want to be in Vegas for a week. And that's a thing where, like, you're playing Vegas, you're playing shitty tourist crowds, the clubs don't want you doing a long time. They want the people in the casino gambling. Uh, More or less Queen on. Now, she might argue with that, but, you know. Well, I mean, I think, in terms of, I was telling someone this the other night, I think when troubled girls, I'm not calling Chandler a troubled girl, but definitely Bolivia, when they start dating someone like me, it's like refreshing. Like, oh my God, this guy doesn't beat me up. This guy doesn't do this. He gets my car door. He pays for everything. And then about 2 to 3 months in, it's like, oh, this is kind of boring. I think I'm going to go back to the guy who raped me. Okay. But, you know, what are you going to do? Yes, I mean, Chandler definitely did pull a Baltimore Colts on me. Dirty work. I like dirty work. Um, well, I mean, I think with Bolivia, knowing what I know about her activity before I met her, it's, let's just say comics were taking advantage of her willingness. And, the crazy defense I've heard for that activity. I had one person, I know a comic that fucked her when she was 16. Um, I'm neither, to be honest with you. And I get into arguments with people all the time. People are like, well, how old was the dude? I'm like, 22. And literally most everyone will be like, well, that's close enough. Like, what? Um, so, did she bang normal guys or just all comics? Which is why I've always, you want to know why I love David Tell for many reasons. It was relayed to me that Bolivia somehow got backstage to see Attell at the Ontario Improv when she was 15 and was basically making it known she's down. And Attell's like, you got to get the fuck out of here, honey. So how much of the treat is the drive? How much of a treat is the drive? I don't mind LA to Vegas because you're excited about going there. But that's a fact, Jack. The drive going back to Vegas or coming back from Vegas is so fucking boring because you're not excited about going back home. You're just I mean, you want to be back home, but I mean that's hard to say. I mean, there's some really Kelly Ryan's very funny. Yeah, I mean Hackamania was brutal. 7 hour drive both ways. I mean, it was just I'll never leave to Vegas on a Friday day again. I literally left at 12 thinking I'll get there around 6. I might even have time to take a nap at the hotel for an hour or two. I literally got to Vegas for Hackamania and the show had already started. So I will never do that again. And then Saturday I left about 2 o'clock. Got home at close to 8 p.m. because it was Gay Pride weekend. I do not play an instrument. And I was so fucking tired that Dolph Ziggler called me up and said, "Hey, dude, get to the Ukrainian Cultural Center." I'm like, "Bro, I'm so tired. I'm literally in tears. I'm so tired." He's like, "Dude, Will Ospreay's here. I'll put you over to him. I want you to meet him." And I said, "I can't, dude." I passed up on meeting Will Ospreay backstage. We probably would have been homies. And I passed because I knew I had to go to the Comedy Store later. I said, "Bring him to the Comedy Store." And yeah, I play the skin flute. I like Phil Collins. I'm not. I'll even go off the board and go Mike and the Mechanics. All I need is a miracle. All I need is you. All I need is a miracle. I tell you what, right now I'm in such a good mood. If we get to 30 likes, I'll read the letter tonight. 30 likes, and I will read the letter. Why didn't you drink 3 energy drinks and go meet him? I was so tired, bro. Like, you don't understand. I was gassed. Or should I keep true to myself and go 100 likes? I know. And we're the best Patriots stand-in on Kill Tony ever. I mean, I know. Okay, you're right. I was just feeling it, William. Never mind. I got to stay true to myself. I'm in a good mood. Yeah, wait, at least hit the like and subscribe button. I will. I'll tell you what. I'll read you the second sentence. This is a reward for you guys being loyal to Earl. So, yeah, I'll just read you the second sentence. So this was the first sentence I already read. I really do hope we can figure this out. All right, that's the first sentence. Okay. How do I schedule it in YouTube Studio? Here's the second sentence. There's a teaser. I do love you. I'm just hurting and I don't know what to do. Now, does that sound like someone who thought they got cheated on? I don't think it does. But I'm like Bill Paxton in Aliens. What do I know? I just work here. Yes, Bumba, I don't want his chop. Maybe I will schedule it for Thursday night. So plan on Thursday. And if we get to 100 likes, 100 people in here. Do you know Vince Neil? I met him because my friend Brent Fitz. But my point there, Articulate John, is from what I've been told, in your dreams, Pedro, ooh, Allah is blushing. My point is that apparently over the last 3 years, she's been telling people Earl knows what he did wrong, which is basically saying he cheated on me. Does that now? So if she left because I cheated on her. Does that sound like a letter written by someone who'd been cheated on? Fuck no. Have you ever met Tommy Lee? Wait, the guy who sang "All I Need Is a Miracle" died? Really? So no, you get one chance in here. We'll go another minute or two. But so that's that's how I look at things. How can we tell by one line, Earl? What do you mean, how, AC/DC? How many more sentences are in the letter? Probably about 5. 5 more sentences. It was a real drive-by kind of letter. Whose voices got worse, Vince or Don Dawkins? It's pretty even, to be honest with you. No problem. Paul Young died. Paul Young didn't sing "All I Need Is a Miracle." He was, let's see. That is a good song. Great video, too. Mike and the Mechanics. Let's see. A Mike Rutherford guitar. Tim. I don't think that was the original. Yeah. I don't think he sang All I Need Is a Miracle. Let's see. Let me see. The song was written by Rutherford. Okay, let's. All I Need Is a Miracle. Written by Mike Rutherford and producer Christopher Neal. 1985 Self. All right, so let's get to the point. Mike Rutherford, electric guitars. Paul Carrick, lead vocals. Paul Young, lead vocals. Adrian Lee, keyboards. Peter Van Hook. Let's see, lead vocals. Paul Young. Okay, let's see if he's still alive. Oh wow, he died in 2000. Damn. Well, there you go. All right, guys. This has been fun. All I need is a miracle. All I need is you. The way I might keep the guitarist's right arm. Thursday. The letter will be read if we can meet the qualifications. Earl Skakel, over and out.